If you're looking to wrap your car, I'm sure you've had the question of how long does the wrap last? Does it peel or bubble over time? Does the color fade? Does it withstand weather? All these questions, and I've had this wrap on my car for 3 years now, so we're gonna answer all of that and just really show you the details, and I'm gonna show you guys all the imperfections, everything wrong with this car over the 3 years that I've had it. Let's get into it. My name is Nikolai. I like to film and build cool cars. If you're new here, consider subscribing and hitting the bell icon so you stay up to date. We're gonna learn a whole lot about cars and see some pretty cool stuff. Let's jump into the video. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So this time we're gonna be taking a deep look into the wrap on my 8.6. Now, I bought this car 3 years ago, brand new, and I really wanted to preserve the black paint. So what I did was literally within like 2 weeks of ownership, I wrapped it in this nice blue made by Avery Dennison. It's a really beautiful color, but it's time for something new. I'll get more into it later into the video, why we're gonna be pulling this wrap off, but I'm not gonna spoil it too much, but some changes are gonna be happening to this car that you guys are gonna see in the future for this channel. It's gonna be really awesome. Now, I just really wanna talk about, what's the purpose of this video? So what we're gonna be doing is talking about how does a wrap hold up? Because a lot of people will look at a wrap on a car and think, well, how does it withstand weather? Does it hold up to anything? How long does it last? There's all these questions that you're probably asking if you want to get into it. And I'm going to give you the straightforward, simple answer right now and say a wrap will last as long as you make it last. Simply put, if you do a horrible installation job, you don't prep the car, you don't clean it, you don't do anything to like prepare the wrap for the car, it's gonna last a few hours. It's not gonna, look as good 3 years later. It's just gonna start peeling up and it's gonna look really ugly. Now, if you don't wash the car, if you don't wax it or even ceramic coat it, if you don't polish it every now and then, you're gonna find yourself, not having a quality wrap job within 3, 5, 6+ years because you're not taking care of it. That goes with everything. You buy a brand new car and you don't wash it for 3 years. Obviously, that paint's not gonna be in the same condition as it was 3 years ago. Now with this one, I do take really good care with this car to keep it clean. It is ceramic coated, and literally the wrap finish on here right now is essentially exactly how it was when it was brand new. It really has not changed. My wrap has not bubbled. It has not lifted anywhere. What I will show you guys though is parts that have lifted because they didn't lift over time. They actually lifted because they just lifted within hours of wrapping it. It's really not that big of a deal. Like this wrap, as kind of cliche as it sounds, is probably better quality than most wrap shops, even though I did this myself. It's just one of those things with wraps where if you do it right the first time, it's gonna last you and it's gonna forgive you. If you do a horrible wrap job, it's not gonna last hours. That's the main thing you have to understand here is the quality of the wrap is literally the most important factor here. And like your work when you're actually installing the wrap is the most important factor here for how long it will last. Because take a look at this thing. It's 3 years old, but you'd probably even think that this wrap is actually paint, which is, I love Avery for that because their wraps, they do look very paint-like. And I went for like a more OEM color, so it's not something like pops too much, but it does look really good. Let's not waste any more time and let's take the camera and give you guys a really close-up look. I'm gonna show you guys all the imperfections on this car, everything wrong with it, and I'm gonna show you guys why we're gonna be pulling this entire wrap off soon. I just wanna be transparent with you guys, so let's go ahead and give you guys a really close-up look and I'll show you everything wrong with this car. Now, I wanna be transparent with you guys and just show you everything wrong with this car, so let's just go ahead and start with the front. So what you'll get over time is rock chips. Now, this is with any car. In the front bumper here, you can't really see too many of them, but if we get really close, after a few track days, you'll see this right here. Looks like there's a little bit of rock chips and it is peeling up right here, but it's really no big deal. I mean, even the front end right here, this front bumper after 3 years doesn't really have too many rock chips, which is totally fine. And then in here, what I did was I didn't do an inlay along this edge. I actually just did an inlay along this inner part, so you can't even see inside of here. So the inlay goes from here, there, it's like a triangle shape. It is lifting ever so slightly. If I really get in there, you can see. So it's not too bad, but, and then moving on to the badge right here, a little bit of bubbles here, but that's more so just for my error, you know, when I was installing it. And right here too, same thing, just a little bit of rock chips, but it's totally fine. And then the hood, like, I mean, it's withstood everything. The only damage I have on the hood is this little mark right here. It looks like it's showing the black paint, but if I rub my finger over it, I can't actually feel it. So it's almost like it's just a black mark on there. I'm not really too sure. And then moving along, the fender is literally perfect. I mean, the only issue I kind of have here is it is lifting ever so slightly in there, but that's, once again, like no big deal. Otherwise, fender's perfect. And then side skirts, these things are perfect. Literally nothing wrong with them. Same for the door. I mean, there can't really be anything to go wrong with the door. I'll even show you guys in here around the door handle. It's pretty much perfect. So that's withstand everything. And then over here, this is the damage. I've covered it up for now. I can open it up later to show you guys, but quarter panel is essentially perfect. Like here, I'll show you guys all the edges in here. It's all perfect, really no issues there. Now for the rear bumper, it's also for the most part perfect. The only thing is it is somewhat lifting in here, but it's ever so slightly. It's literally like nothing compared to, you know, what it could be. And then the way I did my trunk, it's just really interesting because I actually did it in two pieces, because the way this duckbill spoiler is, you know, the TRD wing on here, it's actually covering up literally this entire body line on the trunk. So I just wrapped my trunk in two pieces because I feel like it's better to have a trunk in two pieces than to have it overstretched and risk it failing just to not have that seam. So what you have to understand with wrap is that sometimes it's really difficult to do it in one piece, and it's better to just do it in two and hide the seam very well. So I'll show you guys with this one, the spoiler hides it so well that you literally can't see it. So the only thing that you can see is that little seam. Now, yes, it does go all along the trunk, so you can see it right in there. But other than that, it's totally fine. And now this spoiler is actually wrapped in one piece, so you can see almost perfect. Literally the only thing wrong with it is if I get right into here, that one little bubble. But you know, for something so aggressive like this to be done in one piece, I'm very happy with it, and I think this is totally reasonable. And then moving along, this is the part that really got to me. This is a huge reason why we'd have to rewrap it, because in order to fix it, I'll show you guys, I'll peel this off later. You'll actually see I covered it up just for now because I didn't want it to rust because it's exposing the metal. I really wanted to just go ahead and show you guys the scratch. So here's really what we're working with. As you can see, I've peeled the wrap off and you can already see the black underneath. It's literally perfect condition except for that scratch. So it's quite interesting because I don't know how hard they had to you know, scratch the wrap off of here, but for it to go through the wrap and then through the paint, and then that is either primer or metal. I honestly cannot tell, but I have a good feeling part of it is metal. Luckily, it's not too large. You know, the whole scratch on the wrap actually went to there, but for the actual paint, it's only roughly about here. So yes, did protect halfway. You know, obviously it's not perfect, right? There's still a scratch there, which sucks, but what are you gonna do? You know, the scratch is already there, so you kind of have to just roll with it, you know, understand that it already happened, so the anxiety or, you know, whatever's coming from it isn't gonna change anything. So everything happens for a reason, so we're gonna do a new color on the car. This part as well got hit, so I'm not gonna get into the details, but basically the car was parked and then, you know, this happened, so out of my control, but you know, we're gonna make the best of it and just kind of work with what we have. So that really sucks, but luckily right here, you can actually see that it looks like it's only through the vinyl and didn't damage the paint. It just looks like there's like some kind of adhesive that kind of got rubbed off, but otherwise it's totally fine. So we're gonna be pulling the wrap off to show all that, you know, all the damage underneath there, because it's got to get rewrapped anyways. And what sucks is this is literally the huge panel on the car. Like this is the biggest part. So, you know, it sucks, but we're just gonna roll with it and kind of keep going. I'm moving along to the side of the car. It's really fine. The only thing is right here, it is somewhat lifting down here, but like that's fine. You know, it's not, you know, it's all acceptable. I'm not really upset with it. Kind of show you the corners here. So for, you know, being a wrap that I did myself, I'm very happy with it. I don't think it looks too bad. You can see all along in here as well. So, you know, like I said, for being my second ever wrap to do myself, you know, I also had like my parents helping me out to hold the vinyl for me. So it overall looks really good. Now, I'm like, it's one of those things where this car looks like paint. I mean, look at it from this angle. Like, it really looks like paint, and I absolutely love it for it because I really don't want to take this wrap off now. It looks so pretty, and I'm like, dang, I really was starting to like the blue a lot, but you know, things happen, so we're just gonna roll with it. I'm not gonna, you know, expose what color we're doing next, but I'm super excited for the new color as well. This is more of an OEM color. The color we're doing next is going to be very out there, I guess you could say. It's not gonna be as subtle like a blue. It's definitely not gonna look OEM either, which I'm gonna be super happy for. Take a guess, guys. What color do you think it could be? I think it's gonna be a very hard color to guess. It's not too crazy, but it's a really interesting color, and I think you guys are gonna definitely like it. So my roof is the actual original paint color of the car, so it's that black. And I can even open the door jambs and show you guys just exactly how I cut it in here. So I just pretty much brought it up to this line here, so the wrap goes up to there. And then one more issue is it did lift right here ever so slightly, but like that's fine as well. I think I have it at a point where it's not like too much to the point where it bothers me, but it's obviously not perfect like a brand new paint job, but it's definitely like good enough in my opinion to make me happy with it. And overall, I'm really enjoying it, and I'm very happy with the quality of this wrap and how it's held up. And you know, to answer the question of how long does it last, that's 100% up to how you want it to last. So as you can see with mine, I did a quality wrap job. I clay barred it. You know, I washed the car very well before wrapping over it, and literally it looks perfect. I mean, there's not many particles of dust under the car. Literally the only particles I have, which just does drive me nuts, but if you get right here, if I can even get it in there, that's how minimal they are. I don't even think I can on camera. They're like, there's one here, one here, one here, and then a couple here. You can't even see them on camera, which is the crazy thing. So, you know, it's really not that bad. This car is definitely one of those wrap jobs that looks good up close, but I think the whole thing about wrap jobs is a lot of people kind of cheap out on them, and they look good from like 10 feet away, but once you get close, you can really see the details and how it's not necessarily that good quality. But I'm really happy that with mine, I was able to knock it out with good quality. So it's super awesome. And yeah, I mean, let me know what you guys think. You know, the next colors are gonna be, what do you think of wrap now? All these questions that I'm really curious to find out. What do you guys think of on the car? For this being my second ever wrap job, how's the quality on it? You know, after 3 years, how has it held up? Because you know, for me, I'm all about quality, and I'm very particular when it comes to my car, and I want it to look good. So let me know, what do you guys think of it? To really conclude this video, I just want to say that really when you're looking at getting your car wrapped, it's all about the install quality and just prep work, and then also taking care of the car. So make sure you're washing it, waxing it, even ceramic coating it when you have the car. So you really want to make sure you're taking care of it, because if you take care of the wrap, it's going to take care of you. So it's a really nice thing to have on your car, and it does protect slightly. As you can see, that wrap, you know, in the back quarter panel, it did scratch through the paint. But that's totally fine, because, you know, things happen. At least it was there. It could have been worse. And, you know, even for things like the other parts of the car, like the rock chips, those rock chips don't go through the actual paint on the car. And what's cool is, actually, let me run over here and show you guys. I totally forgot, but I want to show you guys this. So I had like an acorn fall on the car or something like that, and that little chip on the quarter panel, but you can see the black paint in there is actually perfect. And then also, I guess there was a few more that fell, because I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, and if you want to count that one as the 5th one, I've got a few of these like little like black marks on the car that are like chips. So that's black paint underneath it. Very interesting, but you know, the best part is it went through the wrap, but not through the paint. And here's like another example. You see this little scratch right here. So I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but there's a scratch right here and here. Those protected the paint because they only got the wrap and not the paint, which is awesome. So there you have it. That's the wrap on the 8.6. I wanted to give you guys a really good close-up look on the car and make sure you guys could see everything wrong with this car, and just so you're educated a little bit more on how this wrap process works and just everything that goes into it, and also how it withstands over time. But for now, if you enjoyed the video and want to see many more just like it, because in the future we're going to have a whole lot more videos on this car, especially now that we're going through some changes. I'm not going to spoil it, but just know a few changes are happening in this car. But for now, if you enjoyed it and want to see many more just like it, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.